Greetings and a warm welcome to Australia-China Media Watch, focusing on the Lowy Institute's The Interpreter. In this episode, we're looking at articles relating to China from Monday, the 7th of February, running through to Sunday, the 13th of February. This podcast is recorded on Wednesday, 16th of February. There was one article relating to China this week, and it came with the following headline: Delivering Promises Will Show Steel in Quad, by the author Indrani Bagchi. The subheader of the article reads, Presidents Xi and Putin make a deliberate show of solidarity, but Quad partners should focus on boosting defense ties. The article comes with an accompanying image with the following captions: The two premier authoritarian states make no pretense of how power should be disseminated. The opening paragraph of the article reads, The German Naval Chief, Vice Admiral K. Achim Schonbach, I'm hoping I'm getting the pronunciation of that correct, lost his job during a visit to Delhi last month. During an interaction where he went woefully off script, and that is a citation coming from dw.com, he urged the West to offer quote-unquote respect to Russian President Vladimir Putin and keep the focus trained on China, a quote-unquote not-so-nice country, because, and there's a citation coming in from the website theprint.in, this is where the international order will be shaped. Putin may not merit the promised respect, but the Admiral was spot on regarding China. This article was published on the 9th of February 2022 at 3 p.m. The following paragraph reads, Considering the emerging global reality set out in sharp relief this week, a China-Russia relationship was sealed during the Beijing Winter Olympics, set against the backdrop of a threat to invade Ukraine. Citation coming in from the AlJazeera.com website. The deal included energy security, support for Russia's actions in Ukraine, and a bonding against the West. Pakistan added the icing. With China, Pakistan muddled around on Kashmir. With Russia, Pakistan is upgrading its ties, with Imran Khan being the third Pakistan Prime Minister to be invited to visit Moscow. Citation coming in from the website Dawn, that's DAWN.com. Oh, and they teamed up against the Quad, the security dialogue between Australia, India, Japan, and the United States. China continues its aggressive posture not only in the South China Sea and against Japan in the east, but against India in eastern Ladakh. Russia is engaged in high-stakes brinksmanship with the West, which threatens to throw the world into a dark space. The two premier authoritarian states make no pretense of how power should be disseminated. These issues will bring the Quad closer together as the four foreign ministers meet in Melbourne this week. India's S. Jaishankar, Australia's Marise Payne, the United States' Antony Blinken, and Japan's Yoshimasa Hayashi will be together for the first time after the Japanese elections and the last time before the Australian elections. The Quad is at the heart of the redrawing of global geopolitics, which makes it unique. Its very existence offers the promise of a more democratic global order, tailored to 21st century realities. It's not just a forum for anti-China activities, as both China and Russia like to denounce it. It shows the way for international cooperation by following the rules of the road and the seas. We are a vital network of liberal democracies committed to practical cooperation, including to support a regional recovery and to ensure all Indo-Pacific nations, large and small, are able to make their own strategic decisions free from coercion. Payne was quoted, according to theage.com.au, saying on the eve of the talks. In a sense, Quad 2.0 attained maturity during the pandemic. The virus, which irrevocably altered geopolitics, also set out markers for the Quad in this new world. COVID vaccines, trusted and resilient supply chains, humanitarian assistance and disaster relief, maritime security, counter-terrorism, cybersecurity and information security, climate change, and critical and emerging technologies are the tools of this new world order. It's important for the Quad to demonstrate success in all of these. The article comes with another accompanying image, and this image comes with the following captions. The first Quad leaders virtual meeting in March last year. Following on from that is the following paragraph. The first should be vaccine delivery, and this is a citation relating to a Lowy Institute Interpreter article. Because COVID is not done yet, and the Quad needs to get effective vaccines across the countries that are still waiting in the queue for first doses and boosters. India, as the world's largest manufacturer, should make a case for smoother supply chains for vaccine production and delivery, bringing together the India-Japan-Australia agreement on resilient supply chains with the Quad initiatives. And that's what will mark success this week in the region, which is following the Quad silently but keenly. As Jayashankar said at a United Nations meeting in 2019, and that draws a reference from the mea.gov.in website. At the United Nations meeting in 2019, the Kindleberger Trap on the shortage of global goods is far more serious than the Thucydides Trap. China's mercantilism rendered it a selfish superpower, and this was evident in full bloom during the pandemic. The Quad brings a very different narrative to this. But there is more. The Quad should sharpen its focus on the security relationship, because the hard power of a defense partnership is the bedrock for all the new connections that define the Quad. AUKUS is a booster shot for the Quad, though there should be an opening for both India and Japan to partner these countries on related technologies. Likewise, the Japan-Australia Reciprocal Access Agreement opens up new horizons, and that citation comes in from the Lowy Institute for Emerging Defense Partnerships. India opened its own defense account in recent weeks by selling the BrahMos missile to the Philippines in an unprecedented move. This coming in from the Economic Times, from the India Times, which has enormous strategic implications for the Indo-Pacific region. The Philippines is an interesting choice as the country that challenged successfully China's mission creep into the South China Sea, but then succumbed to Chinese coercion. Buying missiles from India is a strategic statement by Manila, and India hopes to repeat the experience with Indonesia, certainly, and the United Arab Emirates. The Quad Leaders Summit in September 2021 for the first time included space as an area of cooperation to set up the rules of this new order, but also to collaborate on military and civilian space projects to ensure the sustainable use of outer space. Citation coming in from the whitehouse.gov website. India is opening up the space sector to private enterprise, and it's time for the Quad to make the most of it. There is much talk of Quad Plus groupings to include New Zealand, South Korea, Vietnam, Israel, even some EU countries. They are certainly the future as mini-lateralism takes over from an obsolete global multilateral system. In the concluding paragraph, it reads, despite so many geopolitical headlines clamoring for attention, it's important, nevertheless, that all four countries resist the temptation to either pile expectations on the Quad or dilute its core mandate by diversifying into newer areas. Stick to the brief, the future will fall in line. And this is according to, once again, the author, Indrani Bagchi. And to provide a little bit of context to the author, this is the author's Twitter site, and self-described as journalist by day, globe spotting for pleasure, personal account, and there is an official handle provided as well. The website, as we head over to the website provided by the author's Twitter account, we can see her publications from the Times of India. Having a look at some of the prior articles that have come out, they include why China's push in the Indo-Pacific is meeting some pushback, Pakistan 7 years in the making, security policies full of nothing, India in talks with top US universities for joint campuses, and published last year in December 29, 2021, the year of Quads and keeping China in the crosshairs. There is an article following from that with W-Asia Quad to work on infra, clean energy, India-Israel ties no longer just a close friendship. December 26, 2021, unlike the West, India can't isolate Myanmar due to geopolitical reasons. On December 24th, 2021, Foreign Secretary request to meet Suu Kyi turned down. Following from that, December 15th, 2021, matters that can sour the golden Indo-Bangla friendship. And one more article provided over here, December 10th, 2021, entitled The 1971 War, India did not want to break up Pakistan. The article up to this point has had a single comment contributed into the discussion, and this was published 3 days ago. Just for the sake of timestamping, they were probably on the 13th of February with the following comment. The Quad is an empty cardboard box. Sitting or standing shoulder to shoulder means nothing. The Russia-China partnership involves not only geopolitics, but trade and economic cooperation. It has the potential to boost economies in both countries and make them less dependent on unfriendly and unreliable trading partners. Regarding the German admiral, he is not the only one calling for respect of Russia. There are many respected voices in the US that accept that Russia's security concerns are valid and that the US should tell Putin what is not a secret, that America will never accept Ukraine as a member of NATO. Why should America send their sons and daughters to die in Ukraine if she is invaded? What is Ukraine to America? Just a tool to scare the other NATO partners into buying more weapons. This concludes our look at the Lowy Institute The Interpreter's coverage of China for the week starting from 7th of February, Monday, to Sunday, the 13th of February. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I appreciate your support. Please return for more coverage of the Lowy Interpreter sometime next week. This is the Australia-China Media Watch podcast, signing out for now.